Hey everybody, I'm sorry that I didn't have any sound on my last video. I think the major issue was my computer. I had it muted for sound on my computer, so I think that just allowed it not to have any sound at all. So I apologize for that. We're going to solve systems of equations by solving by substitution. There aren't many places where solving by substitution is really something that most of us would do. But if we have a vertical line such as x equals 2 and we already have one of our coordinates, because we can already see that in our coordinate xy, if x always equals 2, then our x coordinate is going to be 2. We can take that 2 and we can plug it in for x. This is going to allow us to get rid of one of the variables because we can't solve an equation if we have two variables going on. So this gives us 2 times 2 plus 4y is equal to 8. This is going to give us 4 plus 4y is equal to 8. Subtract 4 from both sides, and we get 4y is equal to 4. And divide both sides by 4 so that we get y equal to 1. So now our x coordinate is going to be 2. It doesn't have a y, so that doesn't matter. We think the coordinate where the two intersect is x equals 2, y equals 1, and if we plug that in to check, 2 times 2 is 4, plus 4 times 1 is 4, and 4 plus 4 does equal 8, so we're good. Problem number 2 is another place where we are going to use substitution. It's got y equals negative 2. So we don't know our x, but we know y has to equal negative 2 no matter what. It's on that horizontal line, so y equals negative 2. We can take that negative 2 and we can plug it in. When we do this, we are going to have x minus 2 times negative 2 is equal to negative 6. Minus negative times a negative makes a positive 4, so negative 6. And when we subtract 4 from both sides, we're going to get that x is going to be equal to negative 10. So negative 10 is going to be my x coordinate. We already said our y coordinate was negative 2. And so if we want to check, y does equal negative 2. And if you have your x minus 2y is equal to negative 6, and plug these coordinates in, negative 2 minus 2 times negative 2 equals negative 6. Negative times a negative is a positive, so we do have a true statement. It checks. Very good. The last problem, this is one, and it's kind of hard the way I have it written, so I'm going to make that plus a little bit smaller. We use different variables other than x and y, but we're still going to have to solve for r and still solve for t. Now, it's not going to be fun to get r by itself here because we have to divide. We have to divide by negative 3. We have to divide by 5. But here we have this t. And so it wouldn't be too bad to isolate this t by subtracting 5r from both sides. So that's going to show me that t equals negative 5r plus 27. So if we take our original equation, or our first equation, negative 4r minus 3t is equal to negative 26, and we take this value for t and plug it in, then there's an r, we're going to be in one variable. It's going to be possible for us to combine some like terms and get an answer. Is equal to negative 6. Now, we do have to use a distributive property. We get negative 5r is equal to, or not equal, sorry, negative 4r, and then a negative times a negative is a positive 15r. Negative times a negative makes a negative, and I did 3 times 27, so that gives me 81. And then we equal negative 26. We can combine our like terms, which gives us 11r minus 81 equals negative 26. And if we add 81 to both sides, we get 11r equal to 55. Divide both sides by 11. And r equals 5. We only have the r. We know r equals 5, but we also have to know what t equals. Now, if you had made a mistake, you don't want to plug back in here. So I'm going to go with one of my originals. I'm going to go with this one. I'm going to do 5r plus t equals 27. And I'm going to plug my value of r in. This is going to give me 5 times 5 plus t equals 27. And then minus 25 minus 25. So t equals 2. I made a mistake on the first video. I'll be the first to admit, because I didn't check my answer. I had plugged into the first equation and I had a negative divided by a negative and didn't get a positive. Check your answers. It's not hard, guys. If I have negative 4 times 5 minus 3 times 2, does that equal negative 26? Negative 20, negative 6, negative 26. If we have 5 times 5 plus 2, does that equal 27? Yes, it does. So plug back in, check your answers. This one's even a little shorter, Lincoln. You did get your shout out in the first video, but here's your shout out in this one. So hopefully, if you missed the video last night or it freaked you out that there wasn't my voice there, now you got it. Have a great day.